Coming up on After the Whistle. Postseason play continues, and there are numerous championship games on the line.
We'll have highlights as Bald Eagle looks to keep its strong season alive and State College fights for a 6A title.
Plus, a look ahead to Penn State's matchup versus top 10 Michigan. After the Whistle starts now.
Hello, and welcome back to After the Whistle, brought to you by Com Radio, Center County Report, and Penn State's Chapter of Awesome. I'm Andre Magaro.
And I'm Preston Shoemaker. We made it all around Central PA tonight to cover 6 playoff games. We've got some action that you do not want to miss.
Preston, this is my favorite time of year. Gets a little colder outside, but the tensions get that much hotter as teams are trying to put themselves in the record books and walk away with some championships.
We're talking about hardware today, Andre, going after the D6 title. This is just unbelievable. It's something you can't miss.
Hey, with that, enough of the chit-chat. Let's get started. Start out with our game of the week. Bald Eagle welcomes red-hot Forest Hills to Wingate for a Class AA semifinal matchup. Time to dive into some highlights.
And then you just hold it.
We'll pick up action with 2 minutes left in the first half here from Wingate. They-seeded Forest Hills gets their first lead of the game. Quarterback Damon Crowley, a 21-yard touchdown run, able to elude multiple defenders, give Forest Hills the 14-7 lead. Transition into the second half. It's Crowley again. This time plunges it in from 4 yards out, 21-7, Forest Hills. Later in the second half, who else? It's the Damon Crowley show. This time it's 23 yards, 28-7 Forest Hills, and they would go on to run away with it 49-20 to keep the Cinderella run alive and end Bald Eagle season. Reporter Eric Fenstermaker was there and has more from Wingate.
After being the last team into the playoffs, the Forest Hills Rangers are looking to win the championship next week and make it 3 in a row. The Rangers have outscored their opponents 78-20 this postseason. Forest Hills is getting the job done thanks to its stout defense forcing mistakes and its electric offense led by senior Damon Crawley.
I think this team is actually doing really good. Beat a couple good teams the past 2 weeks. I think we just keep on rolling, and our defense is really good. Our offense is really good. Our linemen, our corner is really good. I think we just have an overall good team overall.
Head coach Justin Myers has his team clicking this postseason, and this squad hasn't showed signs of slowing down.
We got to just keep going. We've challenged our team. When we were 2-5, we challenged them to win one game at a time. And right now, we've won 5 straight games. We got a tough opponent next week in Richland, and we'll be ready.
After dismantling Bald Eagle, Forest Hills will look to complete the underdog role against Richland next week in the championship. Reporting from Alumni Stadium, I'm Eric Fenstermaker for After the Whistle.
With the win, Forest Hills heads to the 2A championship next week.
Well, the Rangers are red hot. There's no denying it. They've clinched that spot in the championship. But the question becomes, who do they play? Richmond and Bellwood met in the other 2A semifinal. Let's check out those highlights now. We'll start right in the first quarter. On 4th down, it's already 7-0 Richland. But Bellwood quarterback Zach Pellegrin passes this one along the outside into the end zone. Cooper Keene, the tight end. He'll catch the touchdown, the first for the Blue Devils. Makes it a 7-6 lead for Bellwood Antis. Richland would quickly respond right after that. Rams quarterback Kellen Stahl runs it in from 9 yards out. 14-6 at the end of the first quarter would be the score. Let's start off in the second quarter. Stahl, he's going to do it again. Second time on the ground into the end zone for a touchdown. 21-6 early in the second. And here we are, third quarter, first possession. Stahl drops back, airs this one out deep down the sideline. Watch out, Kelly. Touchdown, Griffin LaRue, 35-14 there. Your final 54-14. Richland comes out big with the win.
Over in Central Mountain, State College met Williamsport in the 6A championship game. Both teams are rushing out onto the field. They had that trophy in their sights, but for the game, once again, recognizing Veterans Day weekend. State College started fast. Deshaun Green takes the direct snap. Around, he gets the edge, 31 yards, eluding multiple defenders, scampers into the end zone. State High grabs a 7-0 lead early. More trouble for Williamsport. A muffed punt leads to a State High recovery on the 2-yard line. Brady Bendick would plunge it in from there to double the Little Lions' advantage to 14-0. More miscues from the Millionaires as the first half went on towards the end of the second quarter. Quarterback Frankie Marone scrambles outside of the pocket. The ball's loose. The Little Lions have it. And State High would take its 14-0 lead into the locker room. The Little Lions would hang on 17-14 to claim the District 6 championship.
In the Class 3A championship, Penn Cambria went up against the tough Central Dragons, looking for an upset at Mansion Park in Altoona. 11-0, that's Central on the season, looking to extend that and add in a district title. Last time they played Penn Cambria in September, 46-6 was the score. Here we go, 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Jeff Hohenstein already up 28-0. 15-yard touchdown pass makes it 35-0. He does it again, both times to Eli Lingenfelter, 42-0 the score on that 28-yarder. Here, the Cougars driving the third. Zach Grove, a 13-yard touchdown run, but it would not be enough. Penn Cambria falls to Central, 42-7, your Class 3A champions.
Across the town in Hollidaysburg, Bishop Guilfoyle met Purchase Line in a Class A quarterfinal matchup. Getting things started, Bishop Guilfoyle searching to advance to that semifinal game. Purchase Line trying to play spoiler, and we'll pick things up here on the opening drive for the Marauders. Cooper Rother gets the scoring started, plunges right up the middle, 7 yards out. Bishop Guilfoyle, the early 7-0 lead. The Marauders not even close to being done there. Quarterback Carson Keyswetter throws it down the near sideline, wide open. Patrick Riley, 32-yard touchdown, 13-0. Bishop Guilfoyle. At the end of the first quarter, more of the same. This time 11 yards out, jackknifing his way through is Rother. 19-0 Bishop Guilfoyle. They go on to cruise 38-8. The price was not light for Purchase Line, whose season comes to an end. Guilfoyle's in the semis against Homer Center next week.
The Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers won the 5A district championship last week. Tonight, they took on Cathedral Prep in the second round of the PIAA state playoffs. Both teams getting ready at the start of this one. Hollidaysburg looking to get this playoff win. Early in the first quarter, though, Michael Parks, what a spin move. There he goes down the sideline. Boy, oh boy, that's a sticky pickle for Hollidaysburg's defense. Parks, 84 yards, 7-0 Cathedral Prep. Later on in the first quarter, in the red zone, Parks gets the touch again. Feed him the rock. 20 yards into the end zone. Another rushing touchdown, 14-0 Cathedral Prep on top. Now in the second quarter, quarterback Luke Costello, a 15-yard touchdown pass to Demario Crawford makes it 21-0. And later on, Costello would air out this 50-yard touchdown pass to Camarian Bridges, 27-0 after a botched extra point. Hollidaysburg would fall by a final of 48-7.
And there were a lot more exciting games on the docket tonight. Let's take a look at how they all went down. Start things off in the Class A quarterfinals, where Juniata Valley managed to take care of Conemaugh Valley and advance on. They'll play Portage as they inch out Shamokin in their matchup as well. The two match up in the semifinals next week. Moving things on, we already mentioned Homer Center. They hammered Glendale 34-15 to take on Bishop Guilfoyle next week. Meanwhile, Bedford trounced Clearfield to take home the District 5 3A championship. Moving on, it was a narrow one, a last-second field goal for Westinghouse to clinch their championship over Winburn 35-34. Taking a look at the action that's still yet to be played this weekend. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., Juniata takes on University Prep. Preston, it's time for the return of an old favorite segment. It's our play of the week, and it was a doozy.
I just hope everybody's got their butts parked in their seat, because our man Michael Parks put on a show. We got to see that play again. Let's roll it back. Parks gets that handoff. Look at that spin move, Andre.
Preston, I've been slacking on my laundry a little bit, but Parks can't say the same for him. He put multiple defenders through a spin cycle on that one.
15 carries, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns for Parks as Cathedral Prep beat out Hollidaysburg. Another look at that burst of speed through the line. Shout out to the Golden Tigers, my alma mater. Great team, but fell short tonight. All the Parks show going on at Cathedral Prep. All right, let's take a look now to the collegiate ranks. Penn State football will try to knock off a top 10 opponent tomorrow as Michigan comes to Beaver Stadium. But the Lions' success through the air, and specifically Jahan Dotson, has put a spotlight on one of their shortcomings, the run game. Reporter Connor Griffin has more.
Penn State has relied heavily on throwing the football this season, mainly because the run game is ranked 117th out of 130 FBS teams. While it's been a one-sided attack offensively, head coach James Franklin says he's not concerned about a traditional balance in the play calling.
What I want to be able to do is throw it 75% of the time to win it, or be able to run it 75% of the time to win it, depending on what the game needs and what the game calls for.
Getting the running backs more involved has been a main emphasis for the coaching staff, and Franklin believes it could provide a real spark for the offense.
If you really look at our numbers, if we would have a few explosive runs a game, it would change things dramatically. So I think that's the next step for us.
But those runs might be hard to come by against Michigan. The Wolverines roll into Happy Valley as the number 6 team in the country, while the Nittany Lions were left unranked in the CFP for the second straight week. Many fans and experts wondered about the committee's decision to omit Penn State from the rankings. A win this weekend would almost certainly get the Nittany Lions back in the top 25, but the only numbers this team is worried about are 1-0. Penn State, Michigan kicks off at noon tomorrow.
Tomorrow also marks the first ever helmet stripe game at Penn State, essentially a second whiteout. But you can listen to the game and that call live on Penn State's Com Radio. Surely going to be a great game at Beaver Stadium tomorrow, Andre, and a lot of really great playoff games all night tonight. That's going to be all for our show tonight. I'm Preston Shoemaker.
And I'm Andre Magaro. Join us next Friday. We'll be back with more District 6 playoff action right here
After the whistle.